We are back. Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. I'm sorry that I was away last week, and you guys probably got a decent show.
This is going to be our 11th sexiest show ever.
The 11th?
If not, 100.
Anyway, what's up, everybody? We're glad to have you all back. And look, we have a full team after many travels, vacations with my family.
I went to Alabama.
You went to... That's not really much of a vacation.
No, it wasn't. I didn't know about that vacation I took with your family.
No, to Boston. You went to Boston with us? Were you like hiding or something?
Pardon me, I'm just going to scoot this camera.
We're just
okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, after like going to San Diego Comic-Con and then back-to-back going to Boston, I've just had like a relaxing time. But thank you to my team for holding it down while I was gone. I am Jason the X. I don't do this show by myself. That's Kat over there.
Hi.
Y'all just like clowned me last week. It's just so... Like, I didn't watch it live because we were at dinner. Mm-hmm. So I like just kind of tuned in and just kind of left it playing on my phone. But then I saw it later and, you know, I hate all of you. Also, we need to talk about moving things.
Don't know what you're talking about.
We'll get to that later. Over there's Cass.
Hi, I'm Cass.
Behind the board, of course, making everything sound good, look good. That's Cora over there.
Hello. Did you know that because alligators cannot chew, they swallow rocks to help them digest food?
I will snap my fingers right in this microphone.
Yes.
And joining us on the show, special guest, Darren TekForce. What is going on, brother?
Hello.
Talented musician, artist, maybe doing some new projects. Also a good friend of mine. You may have seen some interviews with him on the show before.
Yeah, man.
Welcome. I think this is the first time you've been on the live show, though.
Maybe.
I think it's the first time you've been on the live show.
I'm so glad to
We've
be
had
here.
discussions.
Yeah.
We did a very frank discussion during the pandemic about some of the violence that we were talking about out there, and it was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we ever got you on the live show. We got you here for a purpose.
Yeah, I know.
Because apparently
man.
you got this shirt here that says like Arcade
I found
Hop.
this in Goodwill.
I
And
wear an
I'm
extra
aware.
large.
Cool.
Yeah, it started to look cool.
They had my
so.
size.
Yeah, it had my size.
I'm
It's
just
hard
saying,
to find.
I wear an
double
extra
XL.
large if you get
So,
any extras laying around or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So yeah, you got the first dibs on the show. You've made some good music, some albums that I still enjoy. They're regularly in my rotation.
Thank you.
Calling me sir, like we're not friends up in here.
Homie.
Well, we have been friends for quite some time, but you're entering after all this, and you've got a new venture on your mind.
I do, man. So obviously the shirt says ArcadeHop, and it is a convention that I've been wanting to put together now for quite some time. The reason it came about, because as you know, I've performed at several conventions.
Yes, you have.
Over the years, and one thing that I saw was that really hit me, I think, in recent years is a lack of diversity, and I've been to several cons where you have there might be, say, 1,000 white comics, but there's no people of color that have been invited to the Comic-Con or to the event. And I went to one over the summer. It was a pinball convention, video game convention. And I noticed just kind of a sea, but I didn't see anybody that looked like me. So I started really thinking about it. And I want to say not this summer, it was last summer it happened. And I thought to myself, why don't I make a convention that highlights people of color, should I say black video game developers, period. I'm big into retro games. I grew up in the arcade. It was the love of my life going there and playing those games. And I saw on, I'm trying to think I've seen several websites where they were highlighting black video game developers. And I said to myself, why not create my own convention that they have a place that they can go to where they get highlighted, where they get known for what their abilities are, and they inspire people and let folks know that, hey, these people contributed to the game industry. It's one of the greatest probably ideas that I think I've come up with, and right now I've been working hard on getting it together with my wonderful fiance, Kendra, who I love very much.
Go ahead and get that shout out.
Yeah, you know I got you. Love you, baby. And we got together, we registered the business, and you already heard the song for it, which I
is
created.
dope. Yes.
Yeah.
And we have a website that's going to come out, ArcadeHop.net, within the next few weeks. And that's going to be, if people, to show what the event is about, and if you want to participate in it, great, because we'll be looking for people who want to volunteer and be a part of it. I just think it's a great initiative. I'm already in the talks with someone that works in a huge video game company that is hopefully can pitch it to this game company to help sponsor us. And that's the plan moving forward, is to kind of get those sponsorships, get people interested in it. And we found a venue for it. So I don't have a target date for it. We don't have one, but we've been steadily building up to it. And it's like a heartfelt thing that we're doing, because ArcadeHop is essentially arcade video games. I love them. I stream them on TikTok all the time, and I play them. And it's also going to be a place where you hear hip-hop performances. So I'll be performing, some of my friends will be there, some people you've never seen. It'll be a great community event. The first ArcadeHop is going to be small, but it's going to build, and it's going to be great. So that's what's going on right now, and I'm excited about it.
I mean, greatness always comes from somewhere, It's got to start small. I like the initiative because that's one thing. We went to DreamHack over the summer.
Yes.
And one of their primary goals was to give a voice and get eyes on product from creators that you may not see all the time, even including a lot of creators of color. I mean, Jerry Larson in 1976 invented the video game cartridge. A black man basically set the stage for everything that we love with Nintendo. So definitely creators of color need to be recognized in that field.
He was the direct. I want to say he's the reason that I decided to do ArcadeHop because Jerry Lawson. When
I said Nintendo, Atari.
No, the channel, yeah, because of the channel F, Atari got the idea. He changed the game to where people use cartridges.
Literally changed the game.
Like period, and he doesn't get enough credit for it. I actually hope one of my dream kind of guess is to get his son, who's located in Atlanta, and he's a programmer. Yeah, he's got his son lives in Atlanta. I think he has his own software company, and one of our dream kind of guests is to have him come and talk about his dad. You know, that's obviously the next best thing. So, but you know, again, you got to start small. You got to start community based. But people are interested. I think that the hardest thing is for people to invest in your dream. They have to see it. It's the same thing that happened with music. It's the same thing with this. So they see ArcadeHop, but it's not really grabbing them. But the more that they see about it, the more interviews and stuff like that to raise awareness, it is going to catch fire.
Well, the thing I don't think a lot of people understand about arcade gaming, I mean, this was, you know, we spent plenty of tokens and quarters on those games. But we have kids today, like I take them over to Free Play.
Yeah.
And they play those games and they still have fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's an experience to go and play these video games in like these social atmospheres.
That's right.
Especially when you combine, you know, give me a beer and a burger with it. But you know.
That does help. For a long time, I found video games a very isolating experience. We played them in our family a lot, but a lot of the games we were playing were single player. Yeah. You know, you'd have one person playing and everybody else watching, and going to arcades where you could stand next to your friend, and you're playing two entirely different games, but still that sense of community is a lot of fun.
And you're taking that social aspect and just like taking it to the next level.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of...
This is how arcade should be experienced.
Right. Well, because I don't see a lot of arcade conventions. It's not something, you know, when you see conventions, you see all the newer games. And, you know, and I get it. It's for the newer generation. They're into everything that's out now. But there's a whole group of people that grew up like us that went to the Tilt. And they went to Aladdin's Castle. They went to Showbiz Pizza.
I'm about to get all the tokens.
Thank you. Right, playing Dragon's Lair and Galaga, and the first TMNT, Turtles in Time, all these experiences that we love. I want people to not only come, but I want them to have that, to bring that to their kids. And I'm not talking about just the Free Play. Shout out to Free Play, because I had a birthday party there, and I got a couple homies there. But I wanted something that was more condensed, and also for, again, highlighting Black game developers and saying, hey, you know, and there's some child in the audience, right? Or there's some Black kid that's looking up and they're seeing, you know, they're seeing these strong people, you know, that hopefully one of the aims I want to have too is to have also not just, you know, the guys that I want women empowered to do their own panel and talk about their experiences and being in that industry, which is, you know, when I looked at the percentages, I think it was like Valve or something. I think the percentage of Black people that work at that company was 8%, 7%, like a really small number. And I'm talking about the whole world, all the places that they're at. And I'm like, this has got to grow. So ArcadeHop may not be the one that kickstarts it, but I got to do my part. I have to do something to be the change. And this is bigger than music. Like, I have my music career. You know, I still have it, but it's not like I don't.
No one dictates you got to do the same thing your whole life. Okay, so
yeah. If I'm talking too much, let me know. But I'm passionate about.
We brought you on here.
I know. I just feel like this is the next stage in my life, and I found this wonderful partner, in Kendra, who has been right there, supportive, and coming up with great ideas. She's the one that came up with the way the logo looks. That was on her, and she's an ally. She's a wonderful person, but that's. having that and
that kind of driving force to keep you going and maybe give you some words of encouragement every now and then.
Because Lord knows where my brain goes as an artist. I go, I'll be happy this moment, but catch me about 5-10 minutes later, see what happens. And that's just the way it is.
I'm like, I had the perfect idea.
That doesn't sound familiar.
Right. As an artist,
5 minutes, I'm like, I was wrong about everything.
And you're talking about chasing dreams here and everything. Yeah. Honestly, anybody that gets into game development, they are chasing a dream. Yeah. Like, it's going to be a painful, brutal dream.
No,
it is.
It's like...
We might have a couple of... We can reach out to some voice actors that we know a little. We have a couple connections.
But even like when we were at DreamHack, we sampled a couple games, and a lot of the arcades, you got that side-scrolling kind of platform adventure. There is still a place for that game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We played that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Oh yeah.
For a minute, like
which one did y'all?
It's the newest one, but it's
that's Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yes.
Yeah. Shredder's Revenge.
We beat it on the show.
It's so fun.
Did you?
Yeah.
And one that I keep going back to.
How
the
did
newest
I miss
Metroid.
That damn show.
The newest.
It was during the strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
During the
The
strike,
last
we were
strike.
playing the writer's strike and everything. We were playing video games and watching different videos to react to.
Oh right.
Because we didn't want to cover the studios, but
Yeah.
on my way up to Boston, I was playing the crap out of Metroid Dread on the plane.
That looks like a fantastic game.
Really is.
I haven't got my hands on it yet.
I get it feels like Metroid.
Yeah.
Just it's been spruced up and made prettier.
I keep saying.
Like I can just go through this game like doing something because I finished it and everything.
Yeah.
So. But there is a place for those games, especially in arcade cabinet environments.
Yeah.
Man, like, I'm only like 20. I don't know what age I lie about saying I am now, but I used to walk to the gas station on the corner and play Street Fighter 2.
Line the quarters
play
up.
CC's.
Its own. My quarter's next up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
I was gonna say I remember playing the arcade games at CC's, like Cass was saying.
They did have those at CC's.
They had the little tiny room, like a little closet with like 3 or 4
The 7-Eleven
cabinets.
at the corner used to have
That's
it.
wild to me.
Like they had like 2 games.
Yeah.
And one of them
was
got
Nintendo
changed
Versus.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one was Street Fighter 2.
That's right.
Apparently, the lovely Kendra has joined us in the chat. By the way,
Hey.
offering words of encouragement.
That is my
I'm not repeating this. She was like, "I love you too." I don't say that.
Well, that's
not getting mushy
my
up on this
beautiful
show.
fiance.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're talking about it being an arcade-centered convention, how do you imagine those things interacting? Because some of the developers, it's a smaller world, so some of the developers of color that you're going to want to have on are not the same people that develop arcade games now, because it's not a huge space.
Yeah.
So do you plan on having, like, arcade cabinets?
Yes.
And, like,
so,
just panels that highlight? Or
yeah, well, and therein lies, it depends on how much money we're able to raise, right? So if we can raise enough money, then we can afford the cabinets. If we haven't, then we'll just have to restructure with some computers with MAME emulators and a bunch of ROMs that people can play. But people understand that, right? It's in a perfect world, we release the site. We have people beating down the door saying, "Hey, we want to donate this much money to see this happen."
I could only do quarters. I need to do thousands of
Right.
dollars
Just don't give me a roll of quarters, man. That's not going to help me get my machine. But when I get my machine, you can go ahead and pull up and be good to go. But yeah, it's the way that it's changed several times. Like originally, I had this because I think grandiose. That's how I've always been. We found a location, and there is one room that's 2 rooms connected actually, and there's like a kind of divide in the middle. But if you open that up, you have a spot for the arcade games, for people, it may be vendors, and on the opposite end would be where people could do panels. I was like, that's perfect, but then I thought about, why don't I just make it to where it's vendors and arcade games, and across the way at the other, maybe get another room where the panel can be. So it's ever changing. I think what we've kind of decided on now is just having one room, having some tables set up with arcade games and then just have a panel in there. We just have a very kind of tight environment.
I mean, I think doing it is the most important, like getting the ball rolling. So
Yeah.
I can see like scaling down a little for now, knowing that like there's no limits to what you'd like to achieve.
Yeah.
But you got to get off the ground.
Being realistic about it that's the hardest thing, is being realistic about
That's the
and
hardest.
tempering.
Well, we were at a convention at FateCon.
Oh yeah.
The game tables were absolutely in the same space as the panel, and when the panels were running, people stopped playing and listened to the panels, and then the panel ended, went right back to playing, and it was absolutely not a problem.
Yeah,
And
see, I love that.
They were also very careful to not plan or have games scheduled during the big panels.
Yeah,
because they did have a side room where they had like other smaller panels as well.
I wonder if like emulators might actually help. I think that, and I could be wrong, younger people actually get kind of intimidated by the cabinets. It seems like
Not my kids.
not like
Your kids are different.
young,
My-
but
Your
like
kids are institutional.
I was about to say my daughter too.
Thank you.
Just fine.
Yeah, I get
They
what
know
you're saying.
pain.
Yeah,
like I've seen people walk into free play and be like, "Oh, I don't know," and they get like that look,
Yeah.
and it's like nobody's watching you. Just go play a game.
yeah.
I've seen that on my normal friends' faces when they're walking into free play.
Well,
Not
the thing
you, not you weirdos.
I mean, the thing. Yeah, thank you. The thing
'Cause,
about
I mean, I'll take it.
FateCon in comparison to First Time Con as well,
Yeah.
that you want people to have an experience when they come to your con.
Yeah, man. Like
You want them to have something that they go away that they can't get anywhere else,
Right.
which is something that we got. Like FateCon was a small convention, but it was successful because it gave people an experience, which you are creating a different experience as well. You're kind of combining that social aspect. It was no stranger for us to gather around and watch someone play a game on a cabinet.
For sure.
correct.
So let's just put more of those like-minded people in the same area and go
right.
for it.
That's
Which
right.
I think you've already kind of hit that mindset. I'm just going to go for it because once people walk away from that con, you want them talking. Oh man, I went to ArcadeHop this year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm definitely going next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've got plenty of big cons this year. We just had QuakeCon. Happen. Of course, we got Fan Expo. We got all the huge anime conventions.
Retro Expo. All those.
There are people that want the smaller cons to go
I mean,
to.
that's the dirty little secret, right? Is that
The
people
smaller
like the
cons are
smaller
more
cons
fun.
better.
You
Reaper
get
Con is
better
a
dealer
blast.
rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Fake Con is a blast.
And look,
Closer
I also
friends.
want to say, like, in terms of like the retro cons, we go to them pretty regularly here. You and I, Jason, and also you, Tech. They never have anything for arcade stuff there. Never.
I'm so glad you said that because that's another reason. Because I go to these conventions, they act like when they're 80s conventions and you don't have a spot for arcade games, are you really 80s?
Yeah,
Right.
you are definitely missing
there's
the
not-
key. You're missing the key point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have the whole experience. And gamers were the same ones that were watching the A-Team, and they were watching Knight Rider, and they were watching all these shows. And in 90s gamers, too, you know, they got to experience those arcade games. I'd look around and be like, man. And I've got to the point, and that's why you guys probably don't see me at a lot of the conventions, because I'm a gamer. I like to go to video game-based conventions, and there's a shortage of them. There's a shortage of having that. Okay, you have a comic convention. That's cool. Where are your video games at? Did you forget about that section of people? You know, it's like it's cool.
Section.
Right.
It's one of the most profitable sectors
It's
like,
such-
that exist. Like, where's the gamers?
So if they don't want to do it, guess who will?
Yeah.
I guess that's up to me.
Yeah.
Another mutual friend of ours is in the chat, Miss Shonuff Studios. Hey.
Oh, Miss Halo, shout out.
I like the idea
my
of
girl.
just like playing and chilling out. I like the name ArcadeHop too because the hop reference just gives me roller skating around.
I mean,
That's actually good. We might have to expand out to a roller park.
We're talking about, I mean,
A roller skating party.
hip hop
Face
80s
plant
arcade.
in the
This is
concrete.
this is
Have somebody come
covered in
teach
black
my
light.
ass
Yeah.
how to do it with
That's
rhythm.
it.
That's it. You can't
it.
really see anything,
No,
but
but
you're
That's
still
what
skating.
I think of as
With
diner
some
and,
neon
like,
strips,
boogies. Yeah.
neon around the
But you
My
keep
roller
talking about
skates
that.
light up. So.
You
See?
keep talking about that need for this in this area. Like we just mentioned FateCon.
Yeah.
It was something that was missing from this area. A
Yeah.
tabletop role-playing game primarily focused convention was missing. And I think that's why they were so successful.
Yeah.
Everyone in our age group knows about arcade games. And I think there's a resurgence of that love for the cabinet here recently.
For sure.
Across the street.
Exactly. We've seen people making
For,
buckets of money.
What, almost a decade now, free play? So, do you remember the very first barcade that showed up?
I do. I just can't remember the name of it, though. It was
Arcadia.
I was about to say, was it
Yes.
Arcadia?
Off of Lower Greenville. So, do you know that's where I filmed my first video? Level
Actually,
Up
yes.
was filmed at Barcadia.
Yes,
when it was
I
the
do
only
know that,
one.
actually.
I only got 2 of them. And that's
They're
and
on
that's
YouTube.
one of
Go
them.
watch them.
Yes, they are. But actually, I've been speaking with this great video director named Jeff Adair, and he's done a lot of artists and like not just locally but kind of worldwide. But he's located out of Dallas, and I was thinking about shooting a video for ArcadeHop.
There you go.
Well, if you can't afford him, come hit me up because
We run a production company.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk.
Understand, when we pull people on this show, we're not just like here to interview. We're also here to offer like full-throated support.
Seriously, yeah, we're part of a production company.
Like I was very happy when we brought the FateCon girls on, and I was like, oh, I just bought your domain. It's yours now.
Yeah.
It directs back to your site now. They had it on their like 5-sided Fates like they're gaming, but I bought FateCon as a domain for them and surprised them on the show.
I didn't know that. Like, I watched most of the show. I didn't make it that first.
Oh no, I purchased Fate-Con for them and like gave it to them on the show. I was like, oh, it already redirects to all your stuff already. We got to do a lot of stuff for them too. Did it a panel.
Where's this con at?
It was in Arlington?
Yeah, it was a fun convention.
The next one's not until probably next September.
That's my hometown.
If you watch
where I grew up.
An actually panel about D&D questions with us, that was with one of the a couple
So
of the
have you guys shot a music video before?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, we'll talk.
For a metal band too.
I'll be there to wrangle people, but no. Whenever, like I said, we're not just here to say like, oh, let's interview that guy, and then like, oh, well, we hope everything works out. No, we love getting actively involved.
First of all, can you give me a refill of this?
I don't know what this apple juice stuff is.
This apple juice.
You know when you cork apple juice, that happens all the time.
It keeps
Oh my goodness!
flavor.
I mean, this is the greatest apple juice.
We definitely
ever.
will not be drinking on YouTube,
guys.
But no, whenever you are.
But no, I wasn't finished.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, where the growth I've seen in this group and what y'all have been accomplished, let me tell you now. He and I had we had a conversation years ago, and before the last time I was on the show, I was moving and I was promoting my last album, Child of the '80s, and I had a talk with him. I said, "Look, man, you need to step up your game," because he showed me, what was it? You did an article on Cena, what was that site?
I was working for Cena.
Yeah. And you showed me, I was like, wait a minute, you're interviewing people, you're getting these? What are you trying to do? He's like, oh, well, yeah, I'm kind of doing this and that, but it was very nonchalant. And I said, you're going to have to do more because you were there and you are making things happen. But if you don't take this now, you're going to be in the same place years from now. I told him that. And sure enough, I think about 2 weeks later, I don't know if it's 2 weeks or a month later, he hits me up on Messenger and says, hey man, I want to thank you. Because of what you said, I'm headed to Comic-Con. And I always think about that, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of the group because you guys, you're really doing it. You're following your dreams.
Shut up, let us appreciate you.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I remember that conversation we had.
It was right after
and
that you brought us on, wasn't it? Like,
but let me
pretty close.
But let me tell you, when I stopped, we talked about why I stopped kind of going into music and doing all that, and a lot of it had to do with me raising my daughter and kind of correcting some things that I had messed up on. And I had to go back and get therapy for. I had to do a lot of things, self-reflection. But when I saw y'all, I don't know if this was 6 months ago, but y'all like lit a spark in me. It's like you turned around and you lit a spark back. It's like, man, I got to get back on it. I can't just sit here doing it. I got to do something. And so thank you for reigniting something that I felt like I lost for a bit. And you need to know that.
I ain't gonna emotional on this
We
show.
can't cry on camera. We can't do it.
Yes.
Look, man, I have I have always celebrated your talent. Always. I'm happy to be your friend, but also I've celebrated your talent, and I have no doubt there's nothing you can't do.
I
But
feel
also,
the same about you though too, man.
That speech that you gave me when we had that conversation, yes, that was right before they came on board.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told them repeatedly that when we got to San Diego the first year, I was like, it was because of everything that the crew did. So if y'all want to know where the fire came to like get everything going, get the website going, start writing stories, start doing more, was because of the conversation that we had.
That's
So
awesome.
it is
I love
dominoes
this guy,
falling.
man.
So then we're very grateful for you too.
Yeah.
And if
you
at
guys
any
helping each
point,
other
like,
out.
Thank you.
I've inspired you and kicked that back, then
You did, man.
I'm very happy.
I have to put this
Go ahead,
somewhere
move.
because it keeps with the
keeps
with
trying
the
to displace
mouth.
him.
Laser
He's such a good
Yes,
boy.
I
my
will-
baby.
Yeah. Well,
I love these guys.
he's very invasive. So
I
just
see
keep
you.
him
I
to the-
see you bumping him.
But that is why whatever
10 seconds,
efforts,
I see you.
well,
So
whatever
invasive.
efforts that you are going through,
Right here.
and anything that you need some help, get the word out.
yeah.
Any support we can do.
Oh, I need
Come to us.
everybody. I would love you guys' help because it's sometimes I sit up at night thinking how this is going to be put together. Like it worries me sometimes. It was so much easier to get support as TekForce because I had a chance to establish that brand over the years, and people saw me around. But this ArcadeHop is so new, and I've been out of the cycle. I've been out of doing anything. So I won't say people forgot about me, but people have lives and they move on. They do the stuff they want to. So, but I believe in it and I'm supposed to be doing it. So it is going to come together. It's going to be exactly what I have in my head, just like everything else I've cultivated. I'm working on new music, by the way. I'm doing an album. My son is a producer now. So I'm working on a 6-track project with my boy he's out of San Francisco. He's phenomenal. Like I wish I was that good at 22.
The
I
apple
was
didn't fall
not.
too far, y'all.
I was terrible at 22. But he's just. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going, man, and I'm just excited. But yeah, that's why I wanted to tell you. Thank you for. Just thank you. Thank you for always being there to be my dude.
I put it back on you because, like I said, what you told me was eye-opening and realized that if I wanted to do anything, I needed to come up with a plan, and I did. And
Look at you.
I'm glad I'm surrounded by
You have
supportive
such
people.
a talented team.
Well, duh.
I wasn't
With
part
you.
of the plan, by the way. I just tagged along with Cass one night.
Well,
and we went from there.
Listen, sometimes that happens. I've been roped into worse.
Right?
There
I
are
mean,
so many
I feel
things
like
that
it-
I've gotten because I was in a room at a
I,
time.
Yeah.
Like,
I could
Yeah.
spin the show like saying good things, but I'm not going to do that.
That's not what you tuned in for. That's enough love. I
Yeah.
But I've seen these people grow and the things they've done, and I've not been disappointed yet.
also,
So
I mean,
we're-
support the people around you. Like
that's what I got them on for.
Community. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
Yeah,
everybody.
Jason, support the
Your
people
community,
around you.
your community is the people that will support you, and your community is one of the most important things that I found, especially as an artist.
Yeah.
Building a community is one of the most important things I've ever done.
And when you have something like in common and special, particular to you, like people of color and nerd, then like reach out to those people, even if that's not something you've connected on. And I feel like that's where you're at in some ways. Is like even if that hasn't been the source of our connection, that's true about us.
Yeah. I think it's so wild because I realize in my years since I've been actively performing, I have more social anxiety than I used to have. Mm-hmm. I don't know where that came from, but it appeared, and it has prevented me in some ways in doing more than, doing as much as I need to do. Yeah. But I'm navigating that. But again, this is like a different, man, I'll be 50 in less than 2 years.
What the hell?
Oh, you're so much older
so
than
many
me.
young-looking friends.
No,
So
black don't crack. Anyway,
I wasn't gonna say it. I don't think I'm allowed to.
I mean,
You could maybe repeat
I'm
it
getting
as
there,
us.
and I think I'm doing okay. So anyway,
No, man, I've gotten to a different point in my life. I have, a grown son that's out there in the world. I got a daughter that after this year she'll have 3 more years in school and be an adult. And I'm like, where I'm at in this place, I found the love of my life. And I didn't know what was going to happen in my life 3 years ago. But it's changed so much and it's gotten so much better and greater that I had to look for the next phase. And the next phase is, I think I've always helped people, but this is really going to help people. This is going to be, I wanted to change lives because it ain't about me. I've performed everywhere. I've done all this music. And I'm good, but that's where I'm at.
I think sometimes that actually contributes to anxiety. Somewhat is like realizing that people who come up next are coming up on the backs of the people before them. And the more that responsibility sets in, especially as an artist, when that hits, is like, but if I do it wrong, I could screw it up for the next guy. And he deserves to be here.
Right.
And that gets to me. Like,
that's a lively chat going on over there.
When we went to Comic-Con, when I went to my
because you're on
first
here.
San Diego last year,
Yeah.
I had 2 debilitating panic attacks that
Really?
sent me out for 3-4 hours at a time in a time I wanted to be at my peak. And the answer is you get up, you do a little better.
Right.
And that includes forgiving yourself a little faster for just something that our bodies do sometimes.
Let me tell you, the first time that I ever felt anxiety was actually, I don't know if it's 3 years ago or 4 years ago at Dallas Comic-Con. I had never seen anything that big and filled with people as I saw at Dallas Comic-Con. And my chest tightened and my breathing was off and I was like, I don't know what this is. I never felt this because I'm used to going to conventions and I'm headed to the stage to perform or I got to do this and that. But going as just a guest, I felt this panic. And Show Enough, they had a booth there.
Shout out to Show Enough.
Shout out to Show Enough. They had a booth that they, Halo, shout out to you because real quick, just a commercial for Show Enough Studios. Thank you and Terry for always being there. Whenever you guys have ever had a booth, you always invited me to the booth to sit there to sell CDs or stickers or whatever I had, and I love y'all to death. Thank you so much. God, they're wonderful people.
Yeah, Halo's next on the show. Anyway.
Yes, she need to come out here. Halo,
Yes,
you
I
got to
want
be
her
part of
back.
this.
I know. I've been
her.
telling her.
I appreciate those people. I'm trying to learn how to be that person more and more. If you can give somebody a minute, a space. There's a girl at a con a few years ago. I was about to walk away from the community and never come back because of some stuff. And just was like, I see you. And I didn't even know her. It was like, and I know what's happened to you recently. You belong here and you're okay. Can I talk to you? You're okay. And
That's Halo.
well, it wasn't Halo that time, but I believe that about Halo.
Okay. Well, that's her.
And I'm trying to be that person more because those people.
That's who inspire you, right?
And keep diversity as part of it. Like it's so easy if you're on the edges for one reason or another. To feel like I don't belong here.
Right.
And it could just be one person, any person who's like, you belong here.
Man, I think that's why we love going to conventions so much, right? Because we live in a world that, they love conformity. They love, the status quo. They love kind of everybody doing the same thing and being the cog in the machine. So when you have people that are different, that love, different things, it's like now nerds are having their moment because we spend the income we spend. We spend so billions of dollars on that, so now they take us seriously. But I remember being a black nerd in the 90s and loving anime and nobody knew what I was talking about. They didn't have any clue. We talked about this. I'm talking about, Robotech or Macross to kids at school because I was so excited and like, what are you watching? You can watch G.I. Joe. I watched G.I. Joe and Transformers too, but this is kind of an extension of my love. But here we sit in a time that what I love is I go on TikTok and I see so many black content creators that are living in their truth and animating. You got Megan Thee Stallion that is, I mean, she braces Sailor Moon. I'm like, this is the greatest
stuff. And you're like,
oh my God.
Talking about she just wants to sit on her couch and watch anime.
I'm so happy right now for seeing it. It's like such a renaissance period because
Nikki Marina.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Veteran anime nerd.
Yes.
Woman of color. Yeah.
It's finally time. So, you know, I'm just, you know, I got off track, but it was something I thought about.
Track, but we're having a good time.
Yeah, I just love that I'm able to go to TikTok and see that, man. Somebody that looked like me back in the day being out and saying what they love, because we couldn't do that back in the day.
Nope.
You know, what Fist of the North Star? What's that? You want to play some basketball? You know, they were like, okay, so I'm black. That, you know, I can automatically play ball. I could. Kind of.
Because I'm black.
First, how dare you assume it?
You're
absolutely correct. I can't.
7 feet tall.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know, I've always been tall. You know what? She might have a point. Huh.
You know what? I'm
I
good
didn't
at
think about that.
diagramming
But you know what? There's an
sentences.
anime
It's
for
not
that
gonna
too.
sound
Why play basketball when you can watch basketball?
That's right.
I thought you were going to say be the basketball.
It reminds me of Slam Dunk. Remember Slam Dunk?
That's exactly what I was talking
Okay.
about.
This is our sports anime person over here.
Or Kuroko's basketball.
Kuroko's basketball.
Oh my God, they just bonded.
We're not
Animes.
going to do this tangent
My
for
son.
the
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
will not
We
Kuroko's.
are going to get to some news at some point, but let's bring it back around. Okay,
Yeah.
ArcadeHop, man.
Yeah.
We are going to be primed for any updates. We're ready for any help. We want to make this thing happen because the community needs it.
Where can they find you and what can people do?
All right. So we are launching ArcadeHop.net hopefully in a couple of weeks. However, ArcadeHop has several social media platforms. You can go to ArcadeHop on Facebook or I believe X, or I don't know why you go to X now.
To hear a bunch of stuff you should
But you can go.
It's there.
Instagram, you can find ArcadeHop on TikTok, or I mean, there's also the song that is on all social media platforms right now, TekForce ArcadeHop, which is the official theme song for the arcade. But if you just follow me on Facebook or the aforementioned platforms, or you can go to TekForce on same platforms. I think it's TekForce Lives on Facebook, TekForce on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere else. You'll get the updates on ArcadeHop, and when the website is released, you can go to it, and there is going to be a page where you can specifically submit your name to support.
There's going to be so many links on the description
And
for this
Halo
video.
wanted to let everyone know that she did the logo.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh. No,
I was talking. I'm so sorry. So the person that designed the logo, that made it pop and look Pac-Man-ish, is Halo. Go seek Halo for your logo needs, for your artistic needs.
Am
I
I kidding? I don't know furries.
I backed her Kitchen Witches on Kickstarter, and I've pretty much all my daughter's friends now have copies of Kitchen Witches now.
Good.
I still don't have my copy of Kitchen Witches, and I'm back.
You're not getting my last two. I got two left.
Yeah,
but
I'm tripping.
she got you. She got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, any updates, please keep us in the loop. We're going to
Yeah.
make sure the word gets out anytime we can, because you know what? I plan to be stepping into this convention at some point.
Well, so what I would like is for you, I know you're not a developer, but you're in the industry. So ArcadeHop is going to start off with the black video game developers, but it is going to branch off and eventually be voice actors. It'll be different facets of it. The main goal is going to be that, but you're welcome.
I mean, I'm pretty good at moderating stuff. You know, go for
Yeah.
it.
That is true.
He is really good at
Well,
that.
look, man, I will get you.
I stick with my strengths.
That's cool. I'll give you a 6-pack of Coors
What?
and a pack and some now laters.
You just
and
need some apple juice.
Yeah, some apple
spicy
juice would be
apple
good.
juice.
I'll be good with that. I got a flask just waiting to receive it. You know? So guys, this portion will be up on the site. Man, we're so happy to talk to you. And I'm making a note in my calendar to go to ArcadeHop.
Well, when I give you a date, you have a date to go with
He's
that.
going to block off next year.
I'm
He's
blocking
gonna
out
block
time.
off the
So
entire time.
I know the plans.
So
I'm
you
gonna go to
won't miss. No,
ArcadeHop.
I'm not doing nothing. I gotta wait for ArcadeHop.
It's gonna happen.
Sorry.
It's gonna happen.
I love the dedication.
He's got to
Thank
learn
you.
to roller skate before then. I'm putting roller skating in this. I have no right.
I
But
love the
wanna.
idea though. No, I'm with that. That might work.
I was just
Be
gonna.
fun.
I'd love to roller
I've
skate.
been trying to do a roller skate cosplay for a minute.
Oh,
Love
yes,
to hang out.
me.
Yeah, at least it won't be a scooter. Anyway,
And if somebody could teach me how to like boogie with it instead of just skating around the circle, that'd be good.
Man, just try to maintain balance.
You know, right?
No, I'm never getting on a scooter again.
y'all want to do some super cool nerd news?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Well, we've already kicked it off. It's been kicked. It's been kicked the hell out of.
Kick
Let's
it while
do some
it's
super
down.
cool nerd news. It's a good thing I cut that and put my own my own music over it. So D23, anybody watch it? Anybody excited about it? Because
No.
I mean, let's face it. The only thing, Incredibles 3 was announced.
That's not the only
Yeah.
thing.
No, that's the only thing. Incredibles 3 was announced. That's it. That's all I care about.
Daredevil's coming back.
I can go through just a smorgasbord of stuff that was announced. Okay, we got the full cast for Daredevil Lives on stage.
Here's the thing. I loved the show. I love these people. The trailer hit me a little wrong in how like production elements, but I'm confident maybe that they can. I'm not that
I don't
confident.
know,
I want them to pull it.
The only
through.
clip of the trailer I saw came from a YouTube that was an Indian chicken factory. So, like, I don't know how trustworthy. I don't know. I didn't see
What's an
anything
Indian
official.
chicken?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm glad we're getting
Is that
John
what it was
Barrett all back.
called?
And I gotta, this is a lot, so I gotta go through this like
Something
really
that.
quick.
It was a wild. I will say they do say that it is more violent than
Good.
the
I like
Netflix show.
violence.
Take that with a grain of salt because they also said that about Moon Knight, and it was not.
I did like seeing the different
Moon Knight was
cows
pretty-
from Matt.
pretty violent.
But like not compared to a man putting rebar through his face.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I am excited. I did like seeing all the cows that Matt has because
like that.
those illustrate different points of his life.
I
But
think I missed the color wheel weirdly.
Moana 2,
Do you mean an amalgamation of 3 episodes of television show that got canceled?
fair enough. I will just move on. I saw Moana. I'll probably watch this. The
like
Snow White
Moana.
trailer. Those CGI dwarves creep me out.
Ugh.
Those
I mean,
CGI dwarves creep me
Uncanny
out.
Valley.
Look, you could have just gotten
yeah,
people
I
for
mean,
this.
They messed it
Had
all
like,
up.
I mean, the movie looks
Can
like it's
we-
got a $10 million
It's
budget.
not gonna be.
Go ahead.
Movie-eyed it to
Yeah.
hell and back.
Well,
Can we
I'm
also
about it.
talk about how absolutely ugly that dress is? Like this is the
Also
second
not the
time.
right color.
This is the second time Disney that we've had this problem where you took an iconic dress and you ruined it.
Yeah.
And with Snow White, it wasn't even with the cut this time. The cut looks great.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. You took the saturation and bumped it up so much that it doesn't look good anymore. Her original skirt was like a cream
Yeah.
color, not super yellow.
Yeah.
So have
And her sleeves
blame
are, like,
them for having
turquoise?
terrible
Yeah,
taste.
like-
That's what they've been doing.
It looks like my colorblind brother.
Yeah, I'm
It-
not feeling
It's
this one.
what it is giving is I went to Spirit Halloween and they put some extra tulle on it.
They had to have something to draw your attention away from the dwarves. And incidentally, the Spirit Halloween costume is called Cold Summer Girl.
Oh my
Okay.
Respectful.
Moving on. Toy Story 5. Anybody else tired of Toy
I'm
Story?
done.
Okay, I've been done for a while.
I'm done.
I was done
This-
before
they-
4.
I liked the last movie.
4 capped it off.
I really think they did.
fantastically.
I don't know,
They
I
shouldn't
think-
have done any more.
I think 3 was a good end.
Yeah.
Let's move some of those.
I'm
Star.
like, no. Toy Story 5, tell me the day it's released. You can go see it now. I don't want to see any hype for it beforehand, but if you
Yeah.
say it's out today,
Or
I'm
maybe
gonna
when
go
it's
see
on
it.
Disney
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. We got a full trailer for this new show.
I like the trailer.
I did too.
I got
We're going to do a
very
Jedi thing.
Goonies
I
vibes
like
from
seeing
it.
like the suburban side of Star
Yeah.
Wars. Like it's a
Like-
weird thing. I felt
Yeah.
like I was watching a Star Trek show. Like I saw this on Star Trek Prodigy.
Well, you know, the 2 franchises have bled into each other several
Just
times.
a little, yeah.
But
Because
it's
Star
something.
Trek has
The
been
Star
very
Wars
liberal.
TV shows are going so well. Everybody likes them, and none of them are.
Okay, I'm going to counter that.
Okay.
I'm going to counter that with Andor season 2.
Andor is the best.
I found
And the
it
return of
impossible-
K2SO.
Impossible to determine what shows I'm gonna like for Star Wars specifically by the
Yeah.
trailers.
Yeah.
Andor looked like trash to me, and I loved it.
I'm ready to see Alan Tudyk return as K2SO.
Oh, 1000%, yes.
Okay.
What if he doesn't ever do anything else?
All right. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Okay.
Fine. Grogu is wearing armor in one of those
And
scenes.
that's
care.
different.
Okay.
I don't care. You finished
care
your
the-
story and then you did another season. Like, I'm dying.
Nah, I'm all for more Mandalorian. I cannot. Okay.
I'm with it. I love the Mandalorian.
Okay.
I like the
We got a
vibe.
full
I don't-
trailer for Ironheart, Black Panther 2 spinoff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for. Give me Riri Williams. I've been waiting on this
is
one.
the bomb.
And can we
and
get
let's-
into her
Yeah.
a lot more? Like,
Yes.
I don't
They
feel
need-
like
they
they did a
need-
lot.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they have the potential to do a
Build
lot
that.
because we have Armor Wars coming up.
Yeah.
Where
With Don
Rhodey
Cheadle.
and Rhodey is going to be going after
Maybe some
people
Don Cheadle.
that
Yeah.
he thinks stole Tony's designs.
Yeah.
This is. I need her story set up and I need him set up because I need that clash on screen.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Don
Yeah.
Cheadle convinced that somebody came over. He carried a show for like 6 seasons
Yeah.
with that. It was House of Lies, and I watched
He was
it.
amazing.
We
because I
talked
was
about
bored.
Daredevil. Agatha All Along. Does anyone really care?
What is
No.
it? What?
Agatha All Along.
I will give it my standard, like, 2 episodes.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
All
Yeah.
right.
But
I'm
I
not
don't have
excited
high
about
hopes.
it, yeah.
Okay. Captain America.
Well,
We saw the footage in
We
Hall
were in the
H,
room.
like...
Oh, y'all were there.
Yes,
They were in
with
Hall H.
Robert Downey Jr. We were there in the room
Oh,
when
all
that
four.
happened.
Wow.
it was pretty great. to
It was
be in the room.
amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw the footage at
Yeah.
SDCC. I'm
Yeah.
on board with Captain America.
Okay.
Love Anthony
Harrison
New World
Ford
Order.
came out, was goofing off on
Yes.
stage, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, cool!" And I saw the trailer. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Let me go ahead. Live action Lilo and Stitch. Why?
No.
Nope.
Absolutely
Wow.
not.
I don't want your live action.
What?
Cash
Why
grabs.
don't y'all want to watch
At
that?
least he
Because
looks like
Stitch
It's
Stitch.
a good one yet.
Like,
I mean, he looks like Stitch.
he looks terrifying for a kids movie.
Well, I mean, but that's how y'all liked him in the animated movie.
But like,
I
name me a
don't.
good.
I love 2D
Live action
animation.
Disney.
It's your retro vibe.
So-
I didn't like The Lion King. I didn't like Aladdin. I didn't like, and like, I liked things about these, but
Yeah.
I didn't like feel like they really.
I,
Did a
I would
thing.
love to. When it comes out, I know my daughter's gonna want to go see it. And
Like,
we're gonna go watch
14,
it.
15 is that
14.
I got
She
one that
grew up on
might
Lilo
get
and
a
Stitch.
response from somebody on the
Kinda
panel.
grew up.
Tron Ares. We got to hear the song for that. Look at him. Look at him. He's already ready.
I've never seen.
I'm a,
I've never
Well, we
seen
got
it.
Trent Reznor to come out.
So-
They did the song that's going
I
to be
saw
for the movie.
Nine Inch Nails live.
grew up on Tron.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
was a kid when the first one came out. That's been, matter of fact, the whole TekForce brand. If you look at my logo, is based in Tron.
You
I was
like
afraid that Tron
fluorescent,
Legacy
like
was
that.
not going to
Yeah.
further this franchise.
Yeah.
And yeah, take another shot at it. Let's get more eyes on it. So I'm excited for Tron
Yeah.
I
Legacy.
like the vibe. Very simple.
Yeah.
Like the grid has its
I
place
have
in
high hopes.
coding and like
I
all
hope,
this stuff.
hopefully Jared is gonna bring it together. But I love Tron regardless, and Jeff Bridges is in it. So we'll see what happens.
Dude.
Wait,
That's
which
the main
Jared?
high points of
Jared
D23.
Leto.
Of course, there were a lot of announcements for like
As long as
Fortnite and
he's
some
not
stuff
sending
like that.
people
But
dead rats, I guess.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I like.
Oh, sorry, live rats.
What I
Live
don't
rats,
like
dead pigs.
is D23 like popping up like right after Comic Con. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's why. Yeah.
like I feel like y'all kind of saved some stuff that you
Oh,
could have
for sure,
announced.
for
But okay.
I don't
They
like.
announced everything. They were like,
Mhm.
"We're gonna just throw it all at you, and let's see if you like everything." And people get so many mixed results.
I'm
Overall,
not
there's a
fan
lot to
of
take
their
in, so.
convention anyway, because I think they need to be like diversifying within their brand
Yeah.
and let people spread out a little bit more than they're doing. So it makes me nervous when they do
Well,
a big
it's a
convention.
lot of sequels.
Yeah.
I
It's a
actually
lot
love
of sequels.
one of my favorite sequences in The Boys was like V57
Oh
that
god.
was just roasting D23.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They.
Yeah.
For flat like 10 minutes.
I loved
Yeah.
it.
was
But
pretty
that's
funny.
it. I just wanted to go over a couple things, get y'all's
Yeah.
opinions on it. So yeah, D23 rolled out like 2 weeks after Comic Con. That's
Yeah.
cool, guys. Appreciate that.
Unfortunately, we don't have opinions on things.
Cora, what have you got for us this week?
All right, I'm going to keep things happy, which means that I'm not going to talk about my horror jelly soap story.
Oh God. Oh.
No one liked that, so.
She's so disappointed.
It was kind of
I
funny.
am a little
Like, I'll give her that.
She's so
I thought it was cute.
disappointed.
I thought it was cute. Anyway. In 2014, there was a BL manga that came out called Go For It Nakamura. And BL is, boy love. It was a cute little gay comic about a shy boy who realizes he has the biggest crush on his classmate. They've never talked to each other, and now he has no idea how he is going to even talk to this person. And it was just a little one-shot manga. It ended with them becoming friends. And in a few years later, they came out with a second manga called Go For It Again Nakamura, and it goes over him being friends with him during the summer and how he's coping with the fact that they are friends and not kissing each other at this point. And it's all fun and comedy. Like, it's good-spirited stuff, which is something you don't get a lot in gay manga. Unfortunately, it's like, especially over like the stuff imported over here, we don't get a lot of the cute stuff like this. We usually get stuff that's more adult, more at adult audiences, and it's nice to see something that's not. Even more so, because we're going to get an anime for this. They announced it today that we will be getting an anime for Go For It Nakamura, and artist Sunde, hope I pronounced that correctly, commemorated it with this little artwork. I'm really excited. This is a manga that I love. This manga, it's super cute. I love the more classic style. It's styled more in like an 80s, 90s kind of anime style. So it'll be good to see that kind of, like, those kind of visual jokes and stuff again on screen in something that's more modern.
Nice.
And
I like the style of this. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the image right now.
Yeah, and like this is something that even if you didn't read it, you were aware of it because it was like an artist meme for a long time. Because the cover is your main character, like, having a panic attack, and all around him are little hearts and stars filled with his love interest.
I mean, this is kind of your genre of anime.
Yeah.
Like any kind of this school environment, and then all the hijinks that ensue in them.
Oh, yeah.
For better or worse sometimes. What was the one with the crazy robot one?
Cromartie High School
there we go, that
is
one.
one that everyone should watch. Also, The Daily Lives of High School Boys is the funniest high school anime I've ever seen.
The style reminds me a lot of Kimaguri Orange Road, like as far as the style, the art style looks exactly like it, but I love the art style.
Yeah. So. Some people have also been comparing it to Rumiko Takahashi's work as well.
You know whose inspiration I see in there? Joe Cat.
Yeah, Joe Cat, I think.
Joe Cat has seen this before.
Oh, yeah. Again, this came out in 2014, and it was huge.
Yeah.
I was going to say it looks like a Junji Ito.
No.
Oh boy, she figured how do we make other fans mad? Everything is Junji Ito.
Everything is Junji Ito.
It's a way to make a Reddit thread explode, basically. Say, that looks like Junji Ito about anything.
Yeah, and just sit back with popcorn.
And just add water and
That's
stir
the
it
whole
up.
joke. Like,
Like, people will
mad.
look back
we get mad.
on, like,
I do get
Yeah.
it'll become a YouTube series. It's like that one person that all they do in any anime thread is this is all they say. They look back at like your post history. All it is that reminds me of Junji Ito.
Yeah.
That's just it. It's just copy paste.
I'm not a troll, but I've thought about making that account just because it'd be so funny.
Can I admit one of my new favorite things since we started doing clips is when someone will share an opinion and we'll get a comment that disagrees with that opinion, and I want to comment but I don't want to because I like to remain objective. Yeah. But then someone else will come in and then an argument starts, and then it's like I'll be back to watch this. Like I don't even need to contribute. I just want to.
I just want to observe.
Grab the popcorn. How is this going to play out? Yeah. So if you feel like fighting in our comments with other comments, please go ahead. I will be entertained.
I love it.
We don't know when. By the way, we don't know when the anime is coming out. It was just announced. But if you would like to check out Go For It Nakamura, it is available in your local Barnes and Nobles bookstores because 7 Seas Publishing, who is feeding us with lots of really great manga and novels. They're the publishers, so it is available. Both of them are. Also going to assume the anime is going to cover, honestly, both books.
Yeah.
All right, well, Kat, what have you got for us this week?
I'm just going to hit some really quick stuff that's
Go right
happening in like established known video games. In Borderlands 3, if you have a max level character, you can now start a new game with a max level character and jump straight to the final boss. The trick is that your character will have green gear across the board. I mean, it's doable. It's like your level 72, I think, is max, and the boss is now at level 46, so you can do it. You can do it pretty easily, but, like, it's kind of funny, like, maxed out! Oh, whoops! Uncommon gear. So that's happening. Destiny 2 apologized for renaming a shit ton of its online base, their handles, and not being able to recover the original. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Whoopsie. Also, Diablo 4 trading had to be taken offline as yet another bug gave people any ability that could stack could now be duplicated, and some of those were super rare. So that can't happen anymore. But my favorite one is Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. The final boss is a tough one. I'm not going to ruin who that is if you don't know. Well, there's a new way to beat him. You can hide from him and you will literally bore him to death.
That is so hilarious, actually.
That actually happens?
Yes.
Wow.
With a couple of key abilities, if he can't see you in the arena, he'll give up. You need the Assassin's Gambit Act of War skill and the Unseen Form Sorcery, and it makes you invisible, and then he will just fuck off as soon as he gets bored, and he dies the second he leaves the arena. So, like, sorry about your tryhards.
I am so angry right now.
This is video game news that I ran across. Holla!
I am tempted to start playing Elden Ring just to do that.
I
That
will
was
say,
my
you
favorite thing.
in order to even get into Shadow of the Erd Tree, you do have to beat one of the hardest bosses.
I'm like,
a very, very difficult boss.
Yes.
Like, you could spend 300 hours to do this final troll, and that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, even getting into the DLC, you have to beat.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Been there, done there, messed around, and I do not like my experience.
Yeah.
I also don't want to hear anyone else yelling that FromSoft games are not fair. I think hiding from the boss and him dying of boredom is
I
very
think
fair.
that is
What I love
amazing.
about them is,
I hate
that's
this.
absolutely
I
amazing.
hate
they
this.
throw this stuff.
Should I
in
throw
there.
the final one that put the pictures in there for?
Yes.
The last one.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Please. Oh my
Okay,
god, I need
so
answers.
Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield are in a new movie with the stupidest name of all time. And after they released after they released a promo picture with a carousel horse that stole the show, video game developers and fans, but developers started putting this horse in all their
Wait a
games
minute.
and tweeting the image. So you have like
So they didn't think about that before they took
That's
that
the
picture?
horse takes the spotlight, right? Like that's
That
the
is
first
the-
thing I saw.
Oh my
What
god.
am
They
I
should have
even
absolutely
looking at
ran
here?
with that. That
I'm just
horse
gonna
should
leave
be
this on screen for a little
everything.
bit.
Oh my
That is
goodness.
incredible.
I will say, if you're looking, the one on the right is Bloodborne, and it's one of the most horrifying bosses in the game. And seeing it in this context, I will no longer get nightmares.
I'm
the
looking-
boss.
There's
Oh, that's a
Street
good thing.
That is
Fighter,
terrible.
There's Sea of
So
Thieves.
that's the actual promo?
No, these are the
I mean, the original.
Yes, that's
This
a
is
promo
nerds
shot.
being horrible, just again.
Yeah,
And
they
also
look-
being awesome
This
in
is
the
an
best
actual
way.
being
promo.
epic.
That's an actual
So-
promo shot.
They released it and they're
Somebody
like,
in
nobody will
marketing-
notice the horse.
Is like in trouble.
Are they? Because I never would have
Or-
heard of this garbage.
I don't know. We're
Like, I
talking
would've
about
never
it.
That's
yeah.
true. So
If you
any
don't go
marketing
this
is good
way-
marketing?
I will say, I did see the trailer,
I
and
don't
it
know, I've
does
seen
look
Blake
like the most
Lively's.
boring ass movie I've ever
Well,
seen in my life.
Maybe the twist is that they focus on the horse.
It's the horror.
This is the spin-off character.
It's a spin-off.
I want the sequel to be about that horse's cult.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Where
in a carousel.
When they
or
leave,
she
when
or
the
they.
carnival shuts down, you got a bunch of rogue characters that come in and they just
That's
worship.
what they did Mary Poppins.
I'm
like,
horrified.
I'm calling it now. I'm gonna call this right now because I'm looking at this very unfortunate horse. It
Or
does.
is
Shadow
it?
horse.
No. It does look like it's tweaked out and dying at the same time.
It looks looks like he's been up about 11 days studying for finals.
No,
like, I see
I'm
that.
gonna call it. There's gonna be at
That
least.
guy is saying the Benadryl Hat Man.
There is gonna.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say crap.
We're not getting into Hot Man.
That horse is gonna be in the Requiem of a Dream sequel.
No.
And you know
That
what they're
horse is
gonna
on
do?
crack.
They're gonna beat him.
Can
to
I
be
finish
the
my
most
sentence?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all
Sorry.
time.
Go ahead.
This horse, like what we're going to see at conventions, because it looks like the fake horse head that people always
Yeah,
wear.
the cheap vinyl one.
Yeah, they're gonna paint it yellow, and we're gonna see people wearing this around conventions now. The cult will begin.
I'm gonna go home and edit
In
it
more
into
earnest.
BoJack.
This is probably
Trevor Horse Belmont.
Yeah.
Trevor Horse Belmont.
As long as
Go
you
watch.
leave my sweet boy alone.
Oh, let me guess who your sweet boy is. Is
No.
he related to Dracula?
Gambit Horse.
I want to see Geralt writing it.
I'm gonna,
Well, that is.
this
coming.
is terrible.
Oh, this is
Anyway,
comedy
That
gold.
is-
Oh,
This
God,
is-
that is
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, I need.
That it is
I need to
coming.
see a
Now
rig
that you said
replacement
that.
with that as Roach.
Yeah.
There's no other reason to watch the newest Witchers.
Yeah, it's the only way you can get me to watch season 4
Season
is if you put that horse.
We have spirit at home. The spirit at home.
He looks more like the spirit horse than
He does look
yeah.
a lot like the spirit horse.
Cash, you got anything normal this week?
Normal.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, go right ahead. I'm sure
Okay,
it's terrible.
it's not that it's that meme-worthy. It's just that it's confusing. So Paramount Television Studios shut down this week.
Yes.
But what about the Paramount shows that I love?
That has nothing to do with the Paramount shows that you like. Paramount Television Studios and Paramount Plus, the streaming platform, have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Paramount Television Studios did, and I'm sure that these TV shows will stay in your heart forever.
Like a peacock
Minority Report,
Oh.
School of Rock, the TV show,
Oh,
Berlin Station. Everybody remembers Berlin
show. Not the
Station.
first season, but the second one.
13 Reasons Why, which I do know. The
not a fan.
Alienist.
what is?
Jack Ryan, which was a
Jack
TV
Ryan?
show that
Oh,
I
okay.
This
can
was on
confirm
USA,
existed.
if I remember correctly.
Catch 22. Oh, the absolute Netflix classic, The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Nobody?
Can you disappear if you weren't ever here?
They did make Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor.
Okay, well, that's-
also
okay.
The Jack
Yeah.
Reacher TV show.
Okay,
So
well, you
they
could have
did
led
do-
with that.
Yeah, but
No.
also
She
they
didn't
did
want to.
First Wives Club on BET.
I've
Nobody?
heard of that.
I remember
I remember the original
people
movie.
watching it.
I'm aware of it,
That
but
Yeah.
originally these studios were set up to make TV shows of properties that Paramount owned, which is why you get School of Rock, which is why you
I
get
didn't
Minority
have
I think-
Report.
I think we're figuring out why they shut down.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't know that
they
was a
put
thing.
out-
Exactly.
Exactly. They put out some kind of generic statements. We thank you, everybody, for your hard work, but we're firing all of you. Good night. Yeah.
Typical fashion, right?
It was, and the film industry is kind of in a dumpster fire right now.
Not kind
In a
of.
lot of,
Yeah.
there are reports that say as low as 60% of people in the industry are working right now.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Seems high.
Yeah, it's a like in a really bad state right
I
now.
mean,
It's
frankly,
so many
I'm getting
videos on
out
it.
for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
I've been in the film industry for over a decade. I'm getting out for a minute. It's not sustainable right now.
Yeah.
Do
But
my
yeah,
passion
so
projects.
your new Star Trek TV show, Star Trek: The Adventures of Spock's Grandmother, is still very much saying that's probably not a real
The
one.
Adventures of Spock's Grandmother.
Who he does not
That's,
love.
that's why they had a Pennyworth show.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care.
Dude,
Oh,
these TV shows are safe.
You can't even phase me because today I found out they remade Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I did not know.
As
Oh,
a
that one-
drama,
And I saw the
Oh.
Snow 3
I
trailer
haven't
and I was
seen it,
like,
and I've
there's
been
not a
real
single
kind
of-
chuckle
I'm good.
to
I'm
be
good.
had.
I grew up in the 90s. That's all I gotta
it
say.
looks like
It's
a
hard.
bummer.
Not
It's
me,
hard
I'm
for me
younger
to-
than that, maybe?
No.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
just
I
no
just-
jokes, not
Yeah.
a single joke, not a
The-
single lighthearted. And it was like, we want to tell black stories, and I'm like, sure,
That's fine.
that's great.
Happy
I'm here for
sometimes.
it.
But you could have done an original, or
Could've
not
done
call.
an
You
original.
didn't have to call it Bel Air.
You can't do a reboot
You know what I'm saying? You could've
of
called it-
a lighthearted one and be like, but now we're going
But-
to, because it disrespects the original completely.
But you know what? Will Smith's production company, Overbrook, is behind it. So, I mean, but they're also behind the Karate Kid Netflix show, which is in its 6th season, right? Or it's
Cobra
like
Kai.
Oh, the Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
We met him. He was so chill.
William Zabka. Yeah, he was nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Such a chill dude.
He seems like he'd be cool and real.
Yeah.
Because when I
He
seen
is
him
chill.
like in interviews, he seems like a real chill
He
dude.
was really very
Him
kind.
in the show,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
oh well, yeah.
Like Giancarlo Esposito, like seems really cool off screen and is such a badass.
I just
Oh,
love
yeah.
this
Screen,
story.
Like I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
This story of the cast were like instantly like, oh no, but you know what, we're all right.
No, it does
We're
not
okay.
affect
We're okay.
any of the shows
We're
that you
okay.
actually care about.
Can I tell you real quick? What's my man that plays the Punisher?
John Bernthal.
Yeah, John. I at that same Comic Con I was at, the Dallas Comic Con. I remember walking and I went past all the merch tables, and I got to where all the stars were and their their respective booths.
The alley.
The alley,
Yeah.
artist, or the actor alley, whatever.
Yeah.
So his was like the first one on the end of that kind of area. So I'm kind of just looking to see what stars, and this at this time Stan Lee was still with us, and I saw him over there, and I saw several people. Then I saw John. I said, "Oh my God, it's the Punisher's John!" And I go up and say, "Yo!" as loud as I could, and he looks up and he's chewing gum and he was like this. And then goes back to signing autographs, and I was like, "This is the greatest moment," because he was just so cool.
Senpai has noticed me.
Like
Yeah.
I love his Punisher.
Yeah. I that made me think about that for
Yeah.
a minute. So,
Oh, we have embarrassing ourselves in
No,
front
we
of
do. We're
celebrities for
good. We're
later,
great
for
at
a
that.
different time.
gotta come back for that.
Well, I got one that's a pretty big announcement. Netflix has announced that they will be greenlighting an animated Ghostbusters show. Let's look at history for a second, because we had our Ghostbusters movie,
Okay.
famous team,
2016.
exactly. But we had the Ghostbusters TV show, which ran for 140 episodes on ABC Saturday morning.
Damn.
Honestly,
seven seasons?
giving Ghostbusters a lot more eyes on this product as a Saturday morning cartoon. Also followed by a 40-episode series of Extreme
Extreme
Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters.
which, different. My kids love that one.
I loved it too.
But honestly, if you want to talk about just something that put more eyes on Ghostbusters and maybe like got them out there to produce a second part of the movie, that first Ghostbusters cartoon is amazing with the work that it's done. So this kind of seems a very logical thing to do. Ghostbusters was very successful as an animated series. My question is, where are you going to go with this now? Are we going to follow more like the universe created in Afterlife and Frozen Empire? I think there's room to maybe integrate the original cartoon with some of those elements from some of the newer movies.
Well, it's Netflix. You know where they're going to go.
We could. The possibilities are endless on this, because I absolutely loved the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
As we all did.
It was one of my favorites. Lorenzo Music, the voice of Peter. Arsenio Hall was the voice of Venkman. This was a great show. Winston, sorry.
Yeah.
I forget the actor that was the voice of Venkman, but
Lorenzo Hall was the voice of Venkman.
Venkman, okay. Spangler, I was trying to think of the voice. Because that show was great.
Uncle Joey from Full House was the voice of...
That's right.
Ray. The hot one?
John Stamos.
Yeah.
No. Uncle Joey.
It's
Uncle
the
Joey.
comedian.
The one that Alanis Morissette wrote a song about.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Dave Coulier.
There you go. That's
Regardless, I think the potential for this is good, because I think not so much the movie, the Ghostbusters cartoon is what brought a lot of children into that genre, and they were getting all the toy products and everything that you saw were based around the cartoon, not the movie.
I can tell you this. I saw the movie with my parents in '84 when it came out.
Yeah.
And I remember being in there, and I was scared to death of Ghostbusters. It was not funny to me.
Yeah.
And because we'd never seen special effects like that in the '80s at that time. I was scared to death. But watching the real Ghostbusters, showed me was okay.
Yeah.
And this is not scary. And I went back and watched the original movie and fell in love with it. So that couldn't be just my story. That had to be other stories. And seeing Winston Zeddemore. Back in the day, there weren't a lot of black characters that were main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And the real Ghostbusters was one of the first that had somebody I could identify with. And because of the real Ghostbusters in '86, I decided to get a gray sweatsuit. And I drew me a Ghostbuster symbol on a piece of paper.
Hell yeah.
I taped it on here and taped a bicycle pump on my back, and that was my Halloween costume.
That's called cosplay.
And yes, and I did that, and we went around my neighborhood with a trash bag. And that trash bag was full, and I don't know if it's because of my costume, and they were like, this poor black kid. I must have no money.
Low column A.
Yeah.
I had a few of those Halloween
Yeah.
costumes.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
oh,
Yeah.
honey, have
Yeah.
some candy.
Yes, but it was, anyway, the real Ghostbusters.
But the magic of that first episode of Ghostbusters was them walking back to the firehouse, still covered in marshmallow goop. And Janine's like, well, here's your new suits. And they like seamlessly went into like, oh, well, now we have these different color kind of suits. And
it was great writing.
yes, it was.
It
It's the cartoon that made Slimer such the adorable character that everybody kind of liked. Because
It
Slimer
was-
in the movie was kind of a throw. They caught him, that's it.
And
Slimer had a spin-off.
Slimer and the real Ghostbusters.
What?
Slimer had a spin-off cartoon.
Yeah, spin-off
We were
cartoon, and then it was
sheltered.
Slimer.
Sheltered.
So
I grew up in that era, kind of, but like
Yeah.
sheltered, not allowed to
Oh.
watch anything.
No, man. You gotta understand, Saturday morning was an institution. So you had the Smurfs, Alvin and the Chipmunks, you had Punky Brewster, you had the real Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, DuckTales. There were so many things that came on in that time period that were just pivotal.
I was allowed to watch Mighty Mouse until it got weird.
Are you talking about the
But
what's
it
his
was
name?
Saturday.
New Adventures
No,
of-
it
The
was,
New Adventures
Yeah,
of Mighty
New Adventures of
Mouse.
Mighty
Mouse.
That was the weird one. But that was also done by Ralph Bakshi,
Yep.
which he's
the
Yeah.
guy that did the old Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
but he also did
He's
Fritz
got
the
some
Cat.
He's got some weird ideas about animation.
I enjoy
He is-
the story of
yeah.
Ralph Bakshi, honestly.
He is
experimental
wild.
time.
Yeah.
He's a fascinating person,
Yeah.
and he made some weird but really good shit.
He reminds me of like the guy who created Wonder Woman. Like he's got
With
some
the
weird
two,
ideas.
Yeah.
Just to
But,
close
like,
out,
sorry.
the series will be being developed by Ghost Core Studios, so Jason Reitman and Gil Kanan will be spearheading some of the writing and producing on the show.
I think it's going to be a spin-off of the movies, the more recent ones.
I think this is the time to do it.
haven't
I
seen
think
that.
the iron is
I-
hot with
I liked the
Afterlife.
girl one.
I
Yeah.
like
Just-
the girl one too.
I like the cast that they brought in with Afterlife and Frozen Empire. I think would translate well to an animated
Do
property.
you
That's
think
what's
it
about
will
to
pick
happen.
up new fans? I kind of do want to watch some.
That's
of these movies.
exactly what the success of the animated series was. It picked up those new fans.
Right,
it was
but you
able to
guys
bring
are
that
old
merchandise,
now.
but you were able to get that merchandising in with the real Ghostbusters. You were having the Ecto One and all the characters.
But that's
they
what
were
I'm
pumping
asking.
it out.
Will the
Oh,
new
man.
movies
Can it
plus
lived
this
off
new
of that brand?
series get a new generation?
If it's done right, absolutely, because we've seen the success
Do the
before.
new movies set it up?
Oh yeah, they could
Yeah.
easily do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
So,
those
yeah.
characters
I'm asking.
translate
I don't
well
know.
to an animated form, even if they are there in a guest capacity.
Yeah.
Because they're probably, what I would think is that they'd have the people from the movie just appear in it from time to time to be kind of in a mentorship
Well,
role.
you could have the character just voiced by somebody else.
Yeah.
I think the potential is there if it's done right. So yeah,
Yeah.
a new Ghostbusters animated series, the third one coming to Netflix.
When?
Let's go.
No announcement yet,
Okay.
but it's been greenlit. They're gonna, if Netflix has said they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it for better
Yeah.
or worse
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm
So,
just curious.
Cora,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't expect us to do more than one story.
I mean, we'll go another round.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring a downer so that hopefully other people can bring happiness and joy to our lives once again. Cartoon Network has unfortunately shut down their website. We officially no longer have CartoonNetwork.com. It now reroutes to
That made me mad.
Mac's website. This is the message that you get when you go to the website now. I'm upset. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up with internet, and one of the websites that I went to all the time to play like the online games and stuff after school was CartoonNetwork.com. Played a lot of really weird games on there because not all of them were tie-ins to their shows, but I did absolutely play the crap out of the Gundam game so much. But it does bring about the question of like spaces for kids online. They're starting to become fewer and far between, especially with this, because they may not have had as many games anymore on the website, but they did have episodes of different shows that you could watch, or that the kids could watch just for free on the platform. It may not have been the whole series, but it had like the first few episodes of a bunch of different Cartoon Network shows. Well, it's not there anymore. That you have to buy anything now regarding Cartoon Network. They're also going to be getting rid of Boomerang, the channel, next month. And again, anything related to Boomerang will reroute to Max. That
is... Like, I had to go to CartoonNetwork.com just to confirm that one. Like, she's lying to me. No.
Yeah. That's a mess. It's messed up that you don't own stuff, and they're trying to be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. We try to go legit with you, especially in like anime, nerd, children's spaces. We try to go legit and pay for your services and stuff. You can't just take it away forever.
Surprisingly, AdultSwim.com is still going.
Yeah, AdultSwim.com, specifically Adult Swim in general, even though it is under the Cartoon Network umbrella, is its own thing. And I think Cartoon Network has understood that we should just let it be its own thing. They've always done that. Like, they have their own studio in Atlanta instead of with the normal studio for Cartoon Network. They follow their own rules when it comes to what they show on the block for Adult Swim, which is we show whatever we want to show, including indie works or things like that.
That is true, but I do think it's important to remember if your stuff is owned only through subscription, you don't really own it.
It's just depressing.
Take whatever,
That's the reason why I have 4K Medium.
Yeah.
And I swear by I've been collecting it for quite some time, and because I know they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah. There is a reason that currently my home just looks very packed, and we have several shelves now for all the DVDs that we buy, DVDs and Blu-rays, because no, I'm not going to trust that Crunchyroll is going to keep that series I really like forever. That series is from the 80s. They will get rid of it eventually and replace it with another isekai that we didn't need.
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, if there was ever a time to make sure your physical media is intact and here in your hand.
Yeah.
It's the era of streaming. But also, again, CartoonNetwork.com, Nickelodeon.com, those were third spaces for kids. It was a place that kids could safely go to after school and enjoy themselves. Kids don't really have that much anymore. Like, physically, we definitely do not have those spaces for kids. Yeah. We're very fortunate in the Richardson area and in the Dallas area in general. We have those arcades. We do have comic book stores still. We have other places they can go. But we don't have... It's not the same anymore.
Right.
And it's not like that everywhere. And online was a third space for a lot of kids. It was for me. Probably a bad choice, because one of those was DeviantArt, but we won't get into that one.
Safer a lot of the time.
Left turn, just right.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that there. But just remember to give your kids places to go.
This is just
That's it.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of state of the world now is getting rid of the things that we love. That's why we sit here and talk about the things that we look, because it gives it life.
Right. We take action too. We're carving our own spaces and new things and new frontiers. That's what we're all about.
I really think that's what most people should be doing, but unfortunately, I think people don't pay attention to the signs. Yeah. When they're coming, and we just assume they're going to be around until they're not, because you got other people controlling those spaces. So, like, getting your DVD collection and having that. You're archiving. Because one day somebody's gonna want to see that. Maybe you'll you'll rip it and upload it somewhere. Like, what's that one site? The Internet Archive.
Yeah.
I think
Bless the Internet Archive.
They got everything that has existed, and even before then, I read somewhere, and I can't remember what her name was. This wonderful sister that backed up, or she recorded everything from like the 70s on the VHS tape.
That's where they got those Doctor Who episodes that had been lost to time.
She had recorded and had boxes full of all of this media so that it could be recorded and it could be archived. There was a whole reason to do it, because she was like, no one is keeping track of this and they're removing it. But it's such a wonderful thing, because the Internet Archive has a lot of her stuff.
Yeah.
And even like with, we go to a lot of cons and stuff. I've seen an increased interest in physical media, especially like some of the older stuff.
Yep.
One of the shows we enjoy going to, you picked up like a couple of DVDs, like just because, hey, it's the physical version of this thing that I'm kind of having a hard time viewing online, so I'm just going to make sure I got a copy just in case.
We got to burn better off Ted.
All I will say is that 8 terabyte storage is only a couple $100. I have friends that have servers, and also I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yar.
Pirates life for me.
Yar.
I'm just saying yar.
Final note: universal file formats. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
But we got to have the physical versions to convert, so we're gonna be like, who's got this? I feel like that's gonna be one day. Who's got a copy of this?
So it's gonna be like the
I'm
IRC
sorry,
days.
I'm sorry, we're already living.
Yeah,
that
pretty
time.
much.
I'm just
We
saying,
going back to
Jack
IRC?
Sparrow was a great character. That's all I'm saying.
I love naps.
But it's truly sad. End of an era. Goodbye,
Free.
Cartoon
It's
Network.
great.
Yes.
Goodbye, CartoonNetwork.com.
Because it's sitting on the dock of the bay.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Anyways.
It's nice and topical.
All right.
Where pirates
So
like
we-
to hang out.
60-year-old
At the bay.
song.
We've gone a
I'm so
little long,
old.
but
Watching
Cass,
time roll away.
All right.
Cass, you get to take us home today.
If you have seen any Mike Flanagan product in the last,
Like what?
forever, Fall of the House of Usher, Haunting of Bly Manor, Haunting of Hill House, Hush, I think Oculus.
Midnight.
Yes, absolutely, Midnight Mass. If you've
Yes,
seen any
Mass.
of these products, you have seen his wife, Kate Siegel. She is kind of the queen of horror
So
right now.
hot in Fall
She's
of the
hot.
House
She's
of Usher.
amazing. I do believe that's the picture that I have. It's her in Fall of the House of Usher. I
She
chose
was
that
the one-
specifically just for me.
Toby Dammit.
Nice.
Toby Dammit, amazing Poe reference. She is, this just caught my eye. It was announced a little bit ago, but she's going to lead the horror comedy Damned If You Do, about a group of friends who sold their souls to the devil and must reunite before their 25th high school reunion to try to escape hell's grasp before the contract's deadline expires. This is billed as a comedy.
I'm in. I'm in.
That's
Her-
a great
I'm in.
title.
Done.
I'm in.
It's her, Paulo Costanzo, which if you watch Royal Pains, he was the brother. He's also in Road
brother?
Trip, like the main guy's brother.
brother.
Yeah. He's also in Road Trip as Ruben.
Yeah.
Also starring Harvey Guillen. So if you watch What We Do in the Shadows, he's the
Yes.
familiar. He's amazing.
Guillermo.
He's Guillermo. So yeah.
Oh, I love
Harvey.
Guillermo.
He's
I love
hilarious.
That show. I love that show.
Harvey's
That's
hilarious.
Harvey
Yeah.
Guillen. He was also in the Puss in Boots movie as the little puppy dog.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Puppy. He is absolutely perfect, and she's amazing. I'm
On board.
It's said that they've wrapped, but their announcements were a little weird.
Okay.
So
Where is that going to be?
we don't know. Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be on a streaming platform.
I was in on the description.
I am absolutely in this. And like Fall of the House of Usher was very much a black comedy, so we know she can pull that off. She's absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to watch it.
She did Toby Dammit references, which is references to Never Bet the Devil Your Head, my favorite Poe work of all time, but a weird black comedy from Poe. So these are appreciators of the dark arts.
The only thing that makes me nervous is these are brand new writers and fairly new directors.
Give
so I'm
people a
hoping
chance.
that the producers and that the actors will be able to.
Flanagan shows up on set.
He's like, "Hey guys."
Them.
Yeah.
I haven't
She
seen
sings his
House
praises
of
all.
Usher, but I know my fiance has, and
It's very much like gothic, modern gothic
Forrest,
horror,
up in that chat.
and black comedy. It's
But
it's
very damning of
strange.
like capitalism and some of the
Yeah.
cultural movements that haven't gone great. And
It's low-key about the Sacklers who started the opioid epidemic. It's about
Pfizer.
it's about the ushers who run a pharmaceutical
But they just
company.
run through Poe's works in the format of another one of Poe's works while doing
So
black comedy throughout.
would you say it was good?
It was good.
Okay.
I rewatched it like a week ago.
Okay.
I love Poe. I was one of those weird goth girls, so like I don't feel like. But it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was amazing.
I loved it.
But yeah.
I thought it was fun to watch.
I thought about the
And a little
Raven
scary.
the other day, actually.
Yeah, the
I
Ravens
don't know,
in there.
it popped in
It's
my
in there.
head.
It's in
Yeah?
there. It's really good. Yeah.
If you know
Okay.
any Poe, you'll recognize some things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Telltale Hearts in there.
Yeah.
And like so. Yeah.
nice.
I'll watch it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I
Yeah.
give it a shot.
We ran a little long. I need clips for the week, so that's why. My house ran a little
I put
long.
all mine concise.
Anyway, guys, yes, that is our show. I would like to thank our guest, Darren TekForce, for coming on.
Absolutely.
We expect to have you on again because apparently you have a voice just made for this kind of stuff. So, yeah, you're going to...
I mean, say what you will.
It's a low bar.
He'll be back, y'all. Trust me. But that is our show. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow us, we are at supercoolnerdshow.com. You can find us at SCNS Live on all the social media platforms, Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, facebook.com/.
Twitter.
We are on TikTok. We're going to be putting more shorts up and everything. We are returning to playing some D&D soon.
I'm so fucking psyched. I'm so scared. I'm so psyched. We're gonna do the tail end of the campaign. Welcome to Toronto.
It's like the only reason
I've
I'll
been working on. I'm so psyched. It starts 2 weeks from Saturday.
It's like the only reason I'll clean this room up for, because Mia comes over. Anyway, so yeah, check us out there. Like all the clips that we post during the show, and leave a comment. Let us know your opinions, and if you want to argue with someone in the chats, go right for it.
Come at me, bro.
Anyway, you can follow us personally at Jason the X.
Find me on something sometimes at Better Cat.
The good cast.
Cora, where can we find you? Because I want TekForce to close out everything.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Corodono Art. Look out, I'm about to go ham with farming sim posting again.
And Brana New Aesthetics.
And Brana New Aesthetics.
And of course, back to our guests, everything that we can find, ArcadeHop and you at.
All right. Well, so as far as TekForce goes, you can find me on Facebook at TekForce Lives. You can find me on Instagram as TekForce, TikTok is TekForce, X is TekForce. Just look at everything.
And then link around from there.
Just
You'll
link
get
around from there. With ArcadeHop, you can find it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I think X isn't set up. But also, go check out the ArcadeHop track. It's available on all social media platforms. You can find the official picture video on YouTube. And you can also find the music at tekforce1.bandcamp.com.
If they wanted to reach out, like potential sponsors, where should they hit you up first?
Well, you can email ArcadeHop, thank you, ArcadeHopCon@gmail.com.
Reach out to this man, work with him. We need this to become a reality because I'm planning on going.
Yes.
Once again, thanks for coming on the show, brother. I appreciate it. We will have you back again.
Yeah, man.
Of that I am certain, but for all of you out there, that is our show this week. We will see you on the next one, and until next time, keep on nerding.
Yeah. Pose.
The Pirate Bay.
We told him.